Hey everybody, Milerliteweight here, and welcome to the Miller HighLite episode 9, where I go over some of the more interesting and relevant news topics in the video game industry every Saturday. Now, I do apologize I haven't been able to put up a video like this in the past couple weeks, because I have been kind of busy. I've had a wedding to attend, and I've just been kind of busy overall. I mean, Halo Reach came out and I wanted to play it on the weekend, so thanks for sticking around if you did. I really do appreciate it. So let's get started here. Final Fantasy XIV was released on September 21st in its Collector's Edition, and it will be released on September 30th with its Standard Edition. So if you really wanted to play it early, you can pick up the Collector's Edition now, and if you don't feel like paying the extra money, just go ahead and wait till the Standard Edition comes out in a few days. And if you're wondering, this is PC only right now. The PS3 version will come out on March 31st, 2011. If you are interested. Now, this is a game that's going to be only out on the PC and PS3. And the interesting thing that I saw recently was that it's using a system for in-game money that is similar to something like Microsoft Points. It's called Krista. Now, what you'll do is, you punch in your debit card number to their site, and you can buy Krista, and you can use it for a lot of different things like in-game currency, subscriptions to things, and tokens. So I thought that was really interesting that they would decide to go this route. And I think a lot of other developers did the same thing eventually, but it does have a negative kind of a side to it, in the sense that some people would think that the more money that you have in real life would correspond to how much money you have in the game itself, and that seems to be kind of an unfair advantage at times. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's kind of cool in the fact that they've released the Collector's Edition first, and then they're going to release the Standard Edition. So anybody that's a really hardcore Final Fantasy fan can pick up the game now, and instead of waiting a few more days. So that's kind of awesome. I like that idea. So moving on to my next topic quickly. There's actually an article that I want to show you guys in the description, and it's about video games and how they reorganize our brain and how we think. And everyone that's watching this, I'm assuming you're a gamer in some sense of the word, and I think it's amazing that they've been doing studies on gamers and their brains. It's really interesting. And what they found is that we're actually using much different portions of our brains than many other people are, because it might seem pretty simple for us to pick up a controller and move a on-screen character around the screen without looking at our hands, but for a lot of people this is a really difficult task. And if you ever watch someone who has never played a video game before in their life, if you just said, here's a controller, and you gave it to them, they would have a very difficult time trying to move around on the game itself without actually looking at their hands. So I think that's something that we take for advantage. And if you read the article, it's actually going to be used as a treatment for Alzheimer's patients. Now, I won't go into what Alzheimer's is, but let's just say that they have a hard time with hand-eye coordination, and this is something that might actually help them out. So you might see some patients in the hospitals playing Call of Duty or Halo at some point, but most likely for this point in time they'll probably be playing more simple games just for the sake of hand-eye coordination, and that's something that's really interesting. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I highly suggest checking out the link in the description if you want more information. So let's see, the next thing I have for you guys is about the game that I'm playing right now, Halo Reach. Now, there's actually a really cool Easter egg that Rooster Teeth found. Now, if you haven't checked these guys out before, I definitely recommend you do so, because they find some of the really interesting Easter eggs and a lot of tips on achievements as well, because they have their own series called Achievement Hunter. Now, definitely check out this YouTube video where it shows you how to do this Easter egg in Reach's campaign, and you will need 2 people to do this little trick, up to 4 people. Now, it's actually pretty interesting because you have to kind of go off the beating path, and you have to maneuver your character over a specific point where it will say press X for press X for Reach Racer, and you'll have to have another teammate do the same thing at the same time. So that's pretty interesting, and when you do that, you'll see in the video that you're actually teleported to a completely abandoned part of the campaign where you can just kind of race. And there's really nothing else to it. You're just simply racing. You don't get an award or anything, which is kind of disappointing. But nonetheless, that's a really cool Easter egg. So if you're into Easter eggs and that kind of thing, and you're into Halo Reach, if you've been playing it at all, I definitely recommend checking it out. It's actually a YouTube video, so I might put an annotation in there for you guys to check out. And I didn't get to mention in the beginning, but anything that I talk about will be in the link, be a link in the description if you want to read more or just find out more information about it. Now, the very last thing that I want to talk about here is Borderlands. Now, Borderlands is a game that was released last October for the 360, and I'm not sure if it was on the PS3 or not, but anyway, I'm pretty sure it was just 360, but regardless. It's getting its last DLC in October. Now, this is the 4th DLC pack, and it's really cool. The game itself is amazing. I played it for, I think, a couple months at least. I didn't buy any of the DLC, but from what I saw that is available, it looks really fun. Now, the awesome thing about it right now is that the Game of the Year edition is going to be coming out on October 12th. Now, this will include all 4 DLC packages in one nice bundle. So if you're into buying games that are, you know, full of DLC and a lot more content than you would normally get when it's released originally, I definitely recommend checking out Borderlands, because the amount of gameplay that was there when I first picked up the game without DLC was staggering, to say the least. So it's definitely a great time. Now, the problem with that is I did enjoy Borderlands very much. At the same time, I kind of wish they would, I don't know, release these Game of the Year editions a little bit sooner, because now that it's almost a year old, I mean, the game is almost a year old, I don't think I'll be picking up the Game of the Year edition simply because I already paid $60 for the original edition, and I just don't have the time or really the urge to play it anymore. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this whole Game of the Year edition thing? Because all the time, basically, it's just a $60 game that is, you know, full of DLC that you would normally have to pay for separately. Now, typically, Game of the Year editions don't go down in price for many, many months, so it's kind of difficult to see, you know, or get the full value of these games. So I don't know. That's just my kind of pet peeve. So this video is coming up to a wrap here, and this is actually my very first Halo Reach game, if you guys are wondering, but I still do pretty well. So thanks for watching. That's Miller HighLite episode 9. Peace out, guys.